Lady Arabelle only gave me a quick rundown before she sent me, but whatever you brought back from the Ascendant Order sites has her raring to go. I always wanted to save a royal, and not die in the process. I'm rather fond of life, you know? Doesn't she always? I assume it involves some crazy scheme to get you onto the prison island of Amenos to look for High King Emeric, Queen Ayrenn, and Prince Inskar. She would have selected me, but she knows I hate being the center of attention. Just the usual. She wants you back at Mandrake Manor so she can give you all the details. She tends to keep things to herself, even after all this time. I'd be insulted that she doesn't trust me, but I know I can't actually be trusted. My one flaw.
Friend, Lady Arabelle is waiting for you upstairs.
Welcome back, my dear. We have a lot to discuss, and time is of the essence. I hoped that by investigating the Ascendant Order, we'd uncover a clue as to how to find the missing Alliance leaders. Now we have it on good authority that they may be on Amenos. From the cookpot to the campfire, as my great-aunt Ailes used to say. It's just a saying, dear. As you're still on retainer, I'd like you to spearhead our rescue efforts. Jakan will go with you to the island, then you'll split up to search for the royals. It's risky, but there's a lot of ground to cover. Aboard a prison ship. They sail for Amenos regularly from the Dufort docks. We'll be contracting the services of a Captain Basrush. She's a dear friend. Jakan and I will meet you there after I finish briefing Captain Colleen and the others. While you head to the Dufort docks, I'll discuss our plan with the Alliance captains. We'll need them for this to succeed. Captain Basrush will get you to the island safely. I know for a fact she can't refuse a purse full of gold. Captains Colleen, Suzo, and Zaji have been procuring ships just for that purpose. The waters around Amenos are treacherous, but I have faith in their skills. I wish I could send more agents to help you, but I prefer to keep a low profile. For the same reason you're traveling by prison ship, so as not to alarm House Menard. We still don't know the extent of their involvement, or if they're making their own play against Emeric and the others. Anything else, dear, or can we get moving? Oh, Basrush is delightful. You'll get along with her smashingly. We met when she was a smuggler operating along the Sentinel coast. Now she runs under a charter from House Menard, ferrying prisoners and supplies to Amenos Station. Goodness, no. It served as a haven for pirates and smugglers once, before the Empire decided it was a perfect place to dump its undesirables. Political prisoners, prisoners of war, rival nobles. Emeric continues the practice to the current day. The entire archipelago sits atop the bones of an ancient volcano. Sheer cliffs, jagged reefs, and dangerous currents make Amenos a perfect site for a prison. The only safe landing on the isle is the dock at Amenos Station. I suppose you can call it that. It serves the nearby prison stockade, though the worst offenders are banished to the jungle. The Empire used to send prisoners to Amenos, and it still is a dumping ground for people the authorities want to disappear. They do something to the prisoners. They call it processing. Once that occurs, they can only survive in the Amenos jungle. They go anywhere else, they die. At least that's what they tell them. So yes, the jungle belongs to the prison gangs. It's a closely guarded secret, I'm afraid. When prisoners are selected for banishment, they undergo some sort of magical or alchemical treatment. After that, they can only survive in the jungle. Is it true? Does it matter? The prisoners believe it. House Menard runs the prison stockade for the Daggerfall Crown. They profit off the prisoner exchanges, the mines in the jungle, other prisoner labor. and they maintain Amenos Station, the only true civilization on the entire island. Sometimes I lose track of days myself, dear. Lord Bacaro hired me to provide security for the upcoming peace talks. I oversaw the arrangements to get the Alliance leaders to High Isle safely. Unfortunately, the Ascendant Order uncovered those plans. Precisely. These bandit knights tried to kill High King Emeric, Queen Ayrenn, and Prince Inskar, but the Magus lost control of his spell. Thanks to you, we now believe the leaders are on the island of Amenos. We're going to rescue them, my dear.
Wait, what? The prison island? Shouldn't I get a say in this?
Oh, I know you can't stand to be left out of the action. Think of the stories you can tell of your daring escape.
Well, that's true. I guess I'm easy to read.
Like a book, dear.
Lady Arabelle wants us to be ready. We're going to Amenos to rescue Queen Ayrenn. And Casca too, Zaji hopes. This one's fur sheds with worry at the thought of his friend and first mate lost on that prison island. She must be. Anything else is too painful to contemplate. But Zaji knows Casca is still alive. She is far too stubborn to let the ocean take her, and she would do anything to keep the Queen safe. Still, lost in a jungle with violent criminals.
It doesn't make sense. This Ascended Order is tearing the island apart, looking for something they think washed ashore.
Would you happen to be
Well,
looking
I hope
for
they
work?
find it and go back to the mainland. I've had enough of rogue knights and gawkers from Tamriel.
Jobs available!
Sorry, Lady Arabelle. I couldn't find any of the volumes on your list at my last port.
No time for books today, my darling. My friend has a favor to ask, so play nicely.
Good health to you, Wayfarer. I'm the captain of the Shackled Guar. Now tell me, what grand adventure has Lady Arabelle drafted you into, and what does it have to do with me? Talk fast, Mainlander. I sail for Amenos on the tide. Oh? And I suppose she's offering her usual pouch of gold and the promise of an evening's company at her manor? She does know the way to this sailor's heart. If that's your port of call, who am I to argue? Just know the dangers before you step aboard my ship. If they process you in the stockade, you'll never leave Amenos alive. If you head into the jungle, beware the beasts and the gangs of banished. The gangs of prisoners who band together to survive in the jungle, they're all bad, but the green serpents are the worst. Here, for you and the pretty boy. Disguises. Put them on and try to look appropriately forlorn as you go aboard my ship. You need disguises because you want to travel aboard a prison ship, and because you want to avoid notice when we reach Amenos. So, disguises. You'll look like just two more poor bastards bound for the prison island, guaranteed. You know the lady. She picks up strays wherever she goes, helps with her work, and she enjoys the company. The first time we met, she was supposed to arrest me for smuggling. Instead, she turned me into an operative and we broke a much larger ring. Oh, the lady has her ways. And I could never say no to a pouch full of gold and a pretty face. Say, your face is pretty. Maybe if you survive and make it off Amenos, you can call on me. Just ask around the docks. Everyone knows old Bass Rush. The Shackled Guar is just down the pier. Move, you dirty prisoners.
You get them there, you old sea dog, and I'll get them out.
I'll do my job, Arabelle. And remember, I like pomegranate wine with my salted mutton.
All the prisoners are aboard, Captain.
2 more latecomers, Juris.
These prisoners aren't on my list.
Then add them. I'll tell you about it later.
As you say, Captain. Get aboard, you scum!
Inside, prisoner. Move!
Psst. Over here. Like my new outfit? What better way to search Amenos Station than disguised as a jailer, huh? I'll see what I can learn about our missing royals here in the stockade and around town. You head to the jungle. From what I already heard, you need to hurry. Before I engaged in 2 of my 3 favorite activities, eavesdropping and thievery, I heard the jailers talking about a bounty placed by the Green Serpent's prison gang. They're offering a reward for 3 nobles that washed ashore in the jungle. What else could it be? Do you know of any other noble-born people who were lost at sea in the area? So head north and go through the big gate. That's your way into the jungle. Meanwhile, I'll see whether or not House Mornard is involved in all this. First, find the leaders. If you can't do that, find the serpents. One of them is bound to know something. I hear they have a camp northeast of the jungle gate. And take this flare. The 3 captains are circling the island waiting for your signal. Try not to let anything in the scary jungle kill you. Just head north, go through the gate, and head north some more. I hear there's a green serpent camp out that way. Hey, you got this! I mean, you probably got this. If anyone's got this, it's you. Ooh, that's hurtful. And here I thought we were friends. But let me think. Oh, there's a coin fort on the far side of the island. Steer clear of that unless you run out of other options. It's controlled by the serpents, and they're stone-cold killers. I haven't seen any signs of the Order here on Amenos. Yet. But there must be a connection, right? How else would the serpents know about the Alliance leaders if the Ascendant Order didn't tip them off? And I'll start digging around out here. Oh, and if you were wondering, I'll hop a ship back to High Isle when I'm finished. Easy enough out here in Amenos Station, as long as you don't look like one of the prisoners. After you secure the royals, find a clear beach and fire that flare.
You think the serpents were telling the truth? Freedom? If we find the lost nobles?
You know the Kaishiti's saying. If it sounds too good, it probably is.
I don't care what you say. I'm heading into the jungle.
Don't be stupid, Rasa. You're safer here in the stockade.
I am a good hunter. Freedom or death?
Look at here. New meat. You've got big ears, new meat. But if you must know, word around this stockade is that the green serpents are offering a way off this rock. Something about friends in high places. You just need to find a trio of nobles supposedly wandering the jungle. What gave it away? The fact that no one gets off this rock? Or that the serpents have friends in high places? Or maybe how ridiculous it is to imagine nobles lost in the jungle. I'll tell you what I told Rasa. Going into the jungle is crazy.
Taking the chasm was necessary, but by the soul of Tuwaka, I would prefer never to have to fight over ground like that again.
Are you a political prisoner, a war criminal, or a murderer?
Through this gate lies the jungle of
Second
Amenos.
cousin of a
Your
Duke
home for the rest of your miserable lives.
This one knows she can never leave the jungle. But sometimes slipping through that gate is so tempting.
Triple the guard on the captured royal, and find the others. I promised all three to the Ascendant Magus, and I won't disappoint him.
Another fight? Well, if you... Oh. Walker, is that you? What are you doing here? Are you a prisoner? No matter. Just seeing you makes me feel 100 times better. Sachi's alive! That's good to know. Now I can kill him for getting us wrecked as soon as I see him. When the storm hit, it was all I could do to hang on to some wreckage and make it to this beach. We're on Amenos, right? The Alliance leaders, right. I keep meaning to try to find Queen Ayrenn, but every time I get started, more of those prison mongrels rush out of the jungle and attack me. I love a good fight as much as the next sailor, but I'm exhausted. Sure, 2 noses are better than 1. If we can pick up Queen Ayrenn's scent, I can track her. That's sort of my specialty. The nose knows, as the kittens say. Stay close and follow me. Let's look around. If I catch a familiar scent, I can follow it. Peace conference. Is that what this is all about? Zaji received orders from the Crown, probably because of our reputation as dragon slayers. And smugglers, we're good at that too. Chisbari, Sidura, and the rest stayed behind in Central because of the secrecy. They gave us royal agents to crew the Pounce. I'm not sure there are any other survivors to find. I didn't see anyone else make it to shore. Let me take a sniff. Ah. Someone used this shelter recently. Their scent is fresh. Familiar. This way. What have we got here? The remains of a fire. There are tracks here. This way. Give me a moment. There was a fight here. What's that? On the ground. That medallion has the Queen's scent all over it. There! I have her trail. Follow me. The Queen is in danger.
Dangerous, Casper. Who will friends wouldn't be wandering about?
Ariel, bless my crown, but it's good to see you, my friend. Don't tell me you got washed onto this oblivion-cursed rock, too. You have my apologies, old friend. I must smell like a 3-day dead gua right now. It was a well-planned and dastardly attack. I could sense the magical nature of the summoned storm, and none of my own arcane protections functioned. They blocked them, somehow. If the storm hadn't raged out of control, I'd be dead now. Of course. I'm not an archmage, but I know my way around a spell or two. They must have had agents aboard as well, because I sensed a pulse of magicka before the storm hit. Whatever it was, the bastards rendered every enchanted item we had useless. Absolutely. Tamriel is changing, and her leaders must adapt. The situation in Cyrodiil right now, I can't see a way forward. Perhaps these talks represent a solution. I'm always in favor of people sitting down to have an earnest conversation. Ariel, bless my crown, but it's good to see... Ah, Lady Arabelle. I knew she wouldn't leave us to rot in this jungle. But she only sent you. Not an army or a chivalry of knights? No matter. I welcome the company. Trouncing these green serpent bastards is amusing, but I'm starting to grow weary. Ah, yes. We were together for a time, but we argued and he rushed off in a huff. I believe I know where to find him after we make some preparations for our rescue. You can signal a ship, but I can help calm the storm that hugs the coast. Never heard about my time with the Sea Elf pirates? They taught me some weather magic. Could you get what I need for the ritual? A claw from a volcanic beast, a feather, and the bones of a drowned sailor. Sadly, these beaches are thick with those. Gather the claw, a feather, and the bones, and I'll make sure the rescue ship can reach the shore safely. While you're gone, I want to take a look at Casca's wounds. She won't admit it, but I can see that she's hurt pretty badly. Casca, you've been injured. Let me tend to your wounds.
Questions still remain. I shall return to my order and report all that has happened. Until we meet again.
Yeah.
Casca will be all right. And you have the items? Well done. While portals to and from Amenos are prohibited, I can teleport within the confines of the island. It just takes more effort. Interesting. Thank you for procuring these items. With them, I can clear the storm when we're ready to depart. Oh, very well, if you insist. You may not believe... While portals to and from Amenos are prohibited... Oh, very well, if you insist. You may not believe this, but Emeric and I do not always see eye to eye. He's as stubborn as his throne is uncomfortable. Why the Bretons insist their king must suffer every time he sits down, I'll never understand. Here, I'll mark your map. It was just north of here. I wonder how excited you'll be when the eagle and the lion are back together again. We tend to argue. A lot. I'll catch up after I prepare the items you brought me for the ritual. Have no fear, I'll be along shortly. I just need to... Never mind, it's complicated. Magica. Don't worry, I've got this. Go find Emeric. I'll be fine, I just need a moment. Sea elf magics are always so particular. This little beauty will help us immensely. You'll see. Have no fear, I'll be along shortly. I just need to... This is the spot. But no Emeric. That man is infuriating. This complicates the situation. Let's talk. Emeric isn't here, but he left behind a number of green serpents. For a man of his advanced years, he can still swing a powerful sword. Emeric is nothing if not reliable. Look at the way the dead serpents are laid out. Isn't it obvious? He left a trail to follow. It leads directly into the cave just up the path. Go ahead and look for him. I'll be along shortly. The poultices should have done their job by now, so I want to go back and retrieve Casca. We will want her strength at our side before this is over, and she needs to be nearby when you signal for the rescue ship. Don't worry about me. If I could survive the politics of Somerset, I can handle an inhospitable island. I'll retrieve Casca and we'll meet up with you in a bit.
More of you vile serpents to fight. Good. I'm just getting started. You don't appear to be one of these green serpent ruffians. Shame. I was hoping to notch an even 20. My friend, what a turn of fate to meet you here of all places. I didn't accidentally banish you to Amenos, did I? No, of course not. I'd remember if I saw your name on one of those prison writs. But what are you doing here? Pray, tell. What does a High King do? Everything and nothing, or so it seems some days. I lead the Daggerfall Covenant, I rule over High Rock, and I attend meetings. So many meetings. Any other questions before more of these serpents show up? Over my strenuous objections, honestly. I was Earl of Cumberland. Before King Gardner died, he dropped dead of the Nahartan flu, and suddenly I was crowned King of Wayrest. Haven't had a decent night's sleep since. Being the eldest son of a noble house, I was trained to lead, though not necessarily to be a king. My father sent me to the best teachers. I particularly remember studying under Count Ravenwatch, a brilliant man, and still a good friend. That's a good question. Yoren the Scald King was invited, of course, but the official response we got out of Mournhold was short and sweet. His son would negotiate on the Pact's behalf. Not for me. I have heard that Inskar is something of a royal pain in the arse. But aren't we all, to some extent? Perhaps Yoren is using this as a training exercise. If Inskar doesn't make matters worse, maybe he'll learn something. My friend, what a turn of fate to meet you here of all places. I didn't Lady Arabelle, you say? How is the dear woman? She and I have shared quite a few close calls over the years. But she only sent you? I assumed I merited at least a dozen knights or so. Ah well, I assume you have a way to get us off this damn island. Ah, you've seen Ayrenn. And she's still alive? Good. Do you know, I was looking for young Inskar when these serpents rushed out and tried to toss me in that cage. I showed them. But I think they may have captured our wayward Nord prince. I half expected to find our young Nord prince sitting atop a pile of dead serpents, but no such luck. Let's take a look around and see if we can find anything that points to where the serpents might be holding Yoren's pup. Come to think of it, I also heard these serpents mention a captured noble. I suppose that's what whoever's behind this told them. No reason to reveal we're royals. Instantly raises the bounty. I really wish I'd taken one of them prisoner, though. Look around. Inskar was here before they moved him. I'm sure of it. Fights like a giant. That sounds like Inskar. And he's at the coin fort. Well done. The Scald King's axe. Inskar held that like Queen Maria grips a sweet roll. He wouldn't give it up willingly. Let's find Queen Ayrenn, shall we? All that dead lout had was this bottle of wine. Ugh! Sour. Is there no joy on this damned island? Yeah, if I were to break an ankle making this jump, Queen Maria would kill me. I'll go around. I'll meet you outside.
see you still well, Emeric.
And you, Ayrenn. Nice, cat. I say, friend, let's chat. I washed up alone, and now I'm surrounded by allies. At least, allies for the nonce. It's funny how fate can change in a moment, eh? Let's talk about the things we found in the cave. Right. Mentions taking their captive noble to the coin fort. That has to be Prince Inskar. Amenos used to be a stronghold for high rock slave traders, but that was many years ago. There's a crumbling old ruin just west of here. A long time ago, yes. Not something the Covenant sanctions today, but you're missing the pertinent point. The Green Serpent gang is using the old coin fort as a hideout, and they're holding Prince Inskar there. We did indeed. There are songs sung about that weapon. Literally, Yoren performed one of them the last time we shared company. We must return it to the prince when we find him. Anyway, our course seems clear. We make for the coin fort to the west. Don't worry about me. I'll meet you at the coin fort. It's just west of here, if I remember my maps. I'll just spend the walk thinking about the choices I've made. A little retrospective. To the coin fort. Shall we journey there together, Ayrenn?
Casca will run ahead and clear the path. I'll make my own way there. I'll see you at the fort. Do try to keep pace with Casca, Emeric. She'll keep you safe.
And she's gone. Again. Don't worry about me. I'll just take the long way around. I could use a nice walk. Truth be told, this is one of the most relaxing diplomatic missions I've had in quite some time.
Walker, we need to talk. Bright moons shine upon us, Walker. Before you arrived, I did some sniffing. A scent like the one that lingers on that axe you found. It's inside the Coin Lord's old fort. I'd bet Zaji's left ear that it's Prince Inskar. Queen Ayrenn suggests subterfuge. They seek the nobles. Let's give them one. In a word, yes. Pretend Emeric is your prisoner. Escort him to the front gate and wait for them to let you in. Meanwhile, the Queen and I will await your signal. After we free Inskar, we'll find a place to signal the rescue ship.
The High King most definitely, agrees. Lead on, my foul captor.
Come, Casca. Let's see how much trouble we can get into.
If you insist.
Lead the way, captor, my captor. Ha ha ha. Those green serpents will never see through our clever ruse.
They captured one of the nobles. You, bring that prisoner inside at once. Sentry, unlock the gate!
I'll draw the serpents out. Be ready.
Hands off, you bastard!
That's one of the nobles dished you once.
High King Emeric is no one's prisoner!
Steady, my friend.
Attack!
Go find Prince Inskar.
I assume this is a rescue? The King's Arrow? Is that really you, my friend? Where you fly, victory is sure to follow. But what are you doing here? How did you find me? So all three Alliance delegates still live? Good. As soon as I came ashore, I was set upon by the Serpents. I made the bastards pay. But even the son of Euron, the Skull King, can't fight an entire prison gang on his own. There were too many of them. Sungir, axe of the Skull King. Ah, it feels good to cradle you in my arms again, you powerful blade. But we can't go yet. The Serpent said that something called the Ascendant Order is behind us. Their leaders, the Lord and Magus, are here. And we will, after we deal with the Ascendant Order leaders. Emeric would agree, and so would Ayrenn. Come, friend. We can deal with these traitors in one fell swoop. With Sungir once more in hand, I feel better already. Let's find this Ascendant Lord and his Magus. I want to show them what it means to attack a Nord warrior. Curious about the Prince of Windhelm, are you? What do you want to know? I have nothing to hide. A personal question. My relationship with the Skull King is complex. He loves the chance to teach lessons, to pass on his tales. But he is still disappointed that I can't sing, forever denying him that father-son duet he's always dreamed of. You don't know the story? How our three disparate peoples came together to repel the Akaviri invaders? I haven't always thought so, but I believe the Nords, the Dark Elves, and the Argonians are truly stronger together. I've seen it firsthand. My role? I've been a prince my entire life. My youth was not unlike yours, I imagine. I hunted, I fought, and I learned my lessons. I bathed in the frigid waterfalls that crash from the high peaks, and wrestled with wolves for sport. The usual. Someone was going to ask that eventually. Publicly, Yoren wants me to step up. The Pact is a sprawling alliance facing threats from all sides. The Skull King has many responsibilities. This is his way to finally allow me to share his burdens. Privately, the old goat is someone warming his bed at night, and refuses to stray too far from home. She's a lovely Riften lass, Brunhilde. My father's never been happier. He was only too eager to let me travel in his stead and represent the Pact. Hope is for poets, like my father. I am a warrior. One does not shy from battle at the first sign of danger. Even if nothing is gained from these conversations, Emeric, Ayrenn, and I shall be the ones who decide when to quit the field. It feels good to be armed again. I've missed you, Sungir.
I'll get Ayrenn and Casca. We'll wait for your signal.
Let's listen in.
We will have your missing nobles by day's end, my lord.
See that you do. Magus, summon the Order. We meet on High Isle on the morrow.
Enough! Let's get down there!
My liege, we must go.
outside so you can signal the ship. I need a moment. Guess I'm not as recovered as I thought. Ocean. That's a good place to use your signal. Shore's bold. Let's see that land all the way back in Wilhelm. Let's get to the dock.
Bay. The elf rituals are fickle things, but I shall quiet the storm.
Serpents! Attack!
Don't let them interrupt.
Can reach us through this storm.
Patience, sir. Ayrenn is working on that.
Wind, waves, and salt. Heed my call and still your fury.
It's working!
I don't believe it. She actually did it.
Onto the ship, quickly.
Friend, give the word and Zaji will have you back at Mandrake Manor before you know it.
As depressing as it sounds, that's the most fun I've had in months. To be honest, I wasn't sure the ritual would work. If it hadn't, let's assume Zaji could have navigated through the storm and reached us anyway. Yeah, Let's go with that. They say these are the times that try a mer's soul, but I want to believe I've risen to the occasion. Our first adventure together feels like a lifetime ago, though, doesn't it? If I'm to be stuck on a jungle island with anyone, I'm glad it's you. I was as well. That business was ghastly, and I thank you for your help. Meanwhile, I was stuck in yet another interminable meeting at Eldenroot. I can assure you, Daedric princes or no, you were having more fun than I was. I'm sorry. You met Elwynari at a very difficult time. She's actually a lovely person, and she has a brilliant mind. I desperately wish I could have been there to lend my aid. And my sword arm. I don't get to unsheath my sword nearly enough. I swear, that eye of mine, he gets friskier and friskier with each passing day. Our last conversation was not about matters of state or threats to my security, but about the meritorious backside of a Gratwood emissary. Riveting. I sent him on ahead to prepare the way, but who knows where that cat has gotten to. I promised there would be no trouble, that all the secrecy and careful planning would make the voyage uneventful. Stars above, I'll never hear the end of it now. I have. I would have said anyone was better than that terrible Tharn woman, but Chimera is a stars-blessed delight. She's so brave. The idea of the two of you facing down dragons. That's another battle I could only read about in an eyes report. I think so as well. Core to the Dominion is self-governance and respect for every culture. But if we can see a unified Anakina and Palatine, if the Khajiit people can rally behind a single voice, it would certainly make my life easier. It was a well-planned and dastardly attack. I could sense the magical nature of the summoned storm, and none of my own arcane protections functioned. They blocked them somehow. If the storm hadn't raged out of control, I'd be dead now. Of course. I'm not an archmage, but I know my way around a spell or two.
The Ascended Magus and his lord are cowards. Neither would stand and fight. They call themselves knights? Hardly. At least we heard their plans. A meeting on High Isle, we heard the Ascended Lord say. You mean aside from being half-drowned and captured by a prison gang? I fought in many battles, worked at my father's side, and I have started knitting. One of the Grands at the castle has been teaching me. Says it's good for my temperament. If you put a blade to my neck and ask me to explain Al-Sav, the tribunal, I'd probably go down in a spray of blood. I read in the reports you were there. Saved a god, stopped a rock from the heavens. Standard fare for you. I can only imagine. Father introduced me to the tribunal. When Lord Vivek spoke, it was like the chimes of the universe sounding in my ears. And so the seal. I'm not so sure about that one. Almalexia is all right, though. Intense, but all right. Nor I, my friend. Vampires and a mad Jarl. Now that's the stuff my father loves to sing about. And that Svanna is... well, she's a commanding presence. She's changed so much since we were children. What? No! What an impertinent question. You are lucky you are the savior of Western Skyrim. Fancy Svanna, I could never... What were we talking about again? Your adventure in... Oh, yes. Something about a big sack of amber, right? As brave as the Argonians can be, the Hist makes as much sense to me as a high elf at Hrothgar. Did you stop some kind of threat? Or save someone's life? Truly. Apologies for my levity, friend. Ask a Nord warband if they would die for their fellows, and you will see a forest of raised fists. Yet another thing my people and the warriors of Blackmarsh have in common, I suppose.
A daring rescue, a clean escape. Well done, my friend. I can't wait to tell Queen Maria all about it. Very well. Thanks for asking. It feels like forever and a day since you acted with my authority on the Covenant's behalf, doesn't it? I must say, shipwrecked or not, it's a pleasure to have you by my side again. Quorog. He was complicated. Quite literally saved my life, you know. Your role in his death and Basrag's rise to power, all very understandable given the situation. But I'd be lying if I said it wasn't a somber day when I heard the news. Well, we've had him by the palace a few times. He brings along a barrel of Quorog's favorite ale, and we toast the memory of dead warriors. Strong alliances have been forged on less than that, don't you know? That's a good question. Yoren the Scald King was invited, of course, but the official response we got out of Mournhold? A daring rescue, a clean. Very well. Thanks for Quorog. Well, we've had him by the palace a few times. He brings along a barrel of Quorog's favorite ale, and we toast the memory of dead warriors. I did. The reports were terrible. After everything that's happened, you'd think one more Daedric prince trying to take over the world wouldn't shock me. And yet... It's not as if the Longhouse Emperors were known for their temperance, but yes, it's disgusting. Incredibly impressive, your actions in Blackwood. Actually, I have a question for you. The head of my intelligence ring, Copper Daria, she's an Ogrim. Scares me half to death, but she's terribly effective. She mentioned your name in connection to the Thieves' Guild, of all things. Care to explain? Ha! Good answer. I'll let you in on a little secret the other Alliance leaders won't tell you. Commerce in Tamriel won't work without outlaws. Why else do you think we let them place those ostentatious little hidey holes and refuges everywhere?
Thank you, Walker. It's good to feel my claws on the deck of a ship again. And it's good to be back with Zaji. That lazy Khajiit is lost without me.
Zaji's ship was closest when the signal flare ignited. Do you like it? I call it the perfect pounce, too! Anyway, Zaji is supposed to get you back to Mandrake Manor as quick as he can. Just give the order and we'll leave these dreadful shores. Zaji's ship was
Ah, nice to be back in the city. Lady Arabelle wants you back at Mandrake Manor, friend. I'll see you there. I'm sure Lady Arabelle has something she needs me to do. Just between you and me, I don't mind the work too much. But don't let her know that.
Please. I was once like you know.
Walker, Lady Arabelle wants to see you in the courtyard, out back.
Not many people escape the jungle of Amenos. I'm impressed, Wayfarer. I only wish Zaji wasn't the one to pluck you from the shore. I'll never hear the end of his boasting now. Anyway, Lady Arabelle is waiting for you out back.
What wonders you accomplished, my friend. Not only did you rescue Prince Inskar, you managed to bring Queen Ayrenn and High King Emeric back safely. Few heroes can say they've saved a king, a queen, and a prince all in the same day.
Well, here comes our hero now. Well done, my dear.
Excellent. Who wants a drink? The Prince of Windhelm is by.
Hold fast there, lad. We're safe for now, but the battle's just begun.
Good work finding the Alliance leaders and getting them off Amenos safely. I'm quite proud of you, my dear. Lord Bacaro and I will spirit them to a more secure location shortly. Then we can turn our attention back to the Ascendant Order. So Prince Inskar told me. We'll get to that. First, you need to rest, and I need to make sure our royal guests remain safe. For now, take this. As long as I can count on you, there's more where that came from. Thanks to you, the royals have finally reached High Isle. While the Ascendant Order has lost their prizes, they remain a threat. Once the Ascendant Lord and his Magus learn the Alliance leaders are here, they will stop at nothing to reach them.